Congressman Tim Bishop.
Let me thank Roger Clayman and the Long Island Fed and particularly Michael Gendron and the CWA for helping to bring us all together here this morning. And I'm honored to join my colleagues in labor and my colleagues in the worker advocacy community to both raise the issue of how important it is to stop both Fast Track Authority and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and to to urge my colleagues in the Congress to do the very same thing. The principal obligation that I think all of us in public life have right now is to see to it that we help to create an economy that provides good, solid, middle-class jobs. And we have two interconnected, although distinct issues here. There is the issue of Fast Track Authority, which, as many of you know, was approved, most recently approved in 2002, and it expired in 2007. It is not necessary. You can negotiate a trade agreement without Fast Track Authority. However, having Fast Track Authority greatly facilitates the negotiation of trade agreements. So in this particular instance, and by the way, Fast Track Authority was last passed, as I said, in 2002. I was not a member of the Congress at that time, although that was during my first campaign, and I made it clear at that time that I would have voted no had I been a member of the Congress with the opportunity to vote. We've got two issues. One, with respect to the authority, Congress has to have a role. Congress has a constitutional role to play. And we are the ones responsible for representing the best interests of our constituents. And Fast Track Authority eliminates that role. So in and of itself, in my view, Fast Track Authority is detrimental to the interests of the people we represent, and particularly detrimental to the interests of middle-class workers. With respect to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, this is a trade agreement that we simply should not engage in. And I say that for three reasons. One, and I think most importantly, there is little question that it will accelerate the movement of jobs offshore. And we have a great deal of that already, a point that I'm going to return to in a second. But this partnership deals more so with service-related jobs than does NAFTA, for example, which was more about manufacturing jobs. And service-related jobs are the easiest jobs to move offshore. So from that vantage point, we should be resisting the TPP. From the vantage point of protecting the environment, this is also, in my view, something that takes us in the wrong direction. And then lastly, from the vantage point of the products we would be importing. We would be importing products that would not be subject to the same standards, the same consumer protections, the same quality control standards that exist in this country. So from every vantage point, from the vantage point of jobs, from the vantage point of the economy, from the vantage point of the environment, and from the vantage point of basically consumer safety and consumer protection, the Trans-Pacific Partnership is something that we should not be supporting. I'm one of about 130 colleagues in the House that signed a letter to the President a couple of months ago urging him not to pursue Fast Track Authority and not to pursue the Trans-Pacific Partnership, at least in its current form. This is an issue where I think we have some real opportunity for the Congress to weigh in and assert its will, but we need more members to join the 120 or 130 of us that signed that letter. Let me just make one last point and then I'll yield. One of the issues that I have been the most engaged in is the issue of stopping the offshoring of jobs, and particularly as it relates to the offshoring of call center jobs. And I'm joined by Michael Gendron from CWA, and CWA has been absolutely vital in this effort. We have lost 500,000 call center jobs in the last 5 years. 500,000 call center jobs have moved offshore. And so I am the principal author of a piece of legislation that has bipartisan support that would say to companies that if you want to offshore jobs, okay, but here's what your consequence is. Your consequence is that you would be no longer eligible for any loan, grant, or contract administered by the federal government. And so, and I'm hopeful, and as I say, we have bipartisan support in the House. Senator Casey has introduced the companion legislation in the Senate. I'm hopeful that we can make a move here. Now, call center offshoring jobs is just one piece of our economy, but 500,000 good, solid, middle-class jobs that pay $40,000 and $50,000 a year, those are the kinds of jobs that we need to keep here in this country, and those are the kinds of jobs, the loss of which will be accelerated if we continue to pursue the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So I'm delighted to see so many of you here. I hope my colleagues in Congress hear the collective voice that you are raising, and I certainly hope the administration hears it as well.